Next question, let's start with Israel. What aspects of your experience, work, education, or personal, makes you the best person for the job?
Well, like I said in my opening statement, I feel I have the leadership skills, running project teams, 30+ teams in my projects, running the IT department for Southern California Edison, administrating admin rights for end users, and also attending my school committees, doing my agenda reports and doing enrollments and making sure all the board members were on contact and on meeting on roll call. So I just feel like I could just be a good addition to help out the board member that's currently on to help them give them options right.
Time.
Ben?
I think one of the most important things when you're sitting on the council dais is to listen to both sides. And I've done a lot of that the last 4 years. All the various boards I'm on, I continue to do that when I'm here at City Council. You have to listen to staff, you have to listen to community members, go out and find those community members, talk to them, and then make a decision that's the best for your community. It's not what's best for you, what's best for a particular area or group, it's what's best for the community. I've had the experience the last 4 years doing that. Prior to that, I was, it's a hard piece of experience to gain. I've got a little bit of that through other groups I've worked with before, with Rotary and other boards I've been on prior to our board here. The other experience I had is I built the house up on Oak Circle, and it was a long, arduous process, going through the county, going through the process. I can't imagine sitting up there, going through that process, and on top of that, having someone else decide that they're going to sue a project and stop it. And that could have happened on that project, except for the fact it was just small enough. And I think that's some of the experience I bring, and I want to continue to bring to our community.
Thank you. Gary?
Yeah, I have 30 years experience as a contractor, number one. I'm a former building inspector with 8 certifications. I was co-chair of Wildomar Land Development and Review, which was a county-approved planning advisory committee for the community of Wildomar at the time. That was 2003 to 2008. I also served on the Planning Advisory Committee for the City of Lake Elsinore. I was Trail Commissioner for Riverside County 2004 to 10. And I was Planning Commissioner for the inaugural Planning Commission for the City of Wildomar. And I'm currently the chairman for Wildomar Multi-Use Trail. I have a vast amount of knowledge in construction. Dealing with CEQA, when I was with the county, I had to, 2 days a year, we had to do CEQA.
Okay, thank you. Tim?
I kind of have a unique perspective. Since I am a businessman and I've been here for so many years, I know a lot of people in the valley. I know a lot of developers. I've met with a lot of people. Even my own friends that have wanted to come in and buy up the land here. One of my personal friends that I'm with all the time. And he asked me, hey, I want to come in here, I'm going to do this on this section over here, put some houses in, all this kind of stuff. And I said, well, let me tell you the problem that I have with it. And I said, and you're my good friend, but this is how it rolls. We have a general plan, and that's what we're going to stick to. Everybody that was on that committee that designed the general plan, yeah, we can make things here and there, we can move things around. But to be able to sit down with a guy that's a multimillionaire and tell him, I'm not going to approve your project, I don't care what it's going to bring to the city because it's not in the right spot. That takes guts. And when you have guts like that, and you've been in business, and you can just lay it forward, and the people respect that. The people that I deal with in business respect what I have to say. And so when I'm going as a city council member, I use that respect to my advantage.
Marcia?
Okay, I even have another take on it. I've been a wife for 46 years.
Jeez.
That takes a lot of cooperation and talking things out. I'm the mother of 3 grown daughters that all live here and stay close to home. I think that's leadership. I brought them up to be good kids. I've got 7 grandchildren and 6 great-grandchildren, and I have a ball with them. That's time for fun. But it's still leadership. You're still showing them what each generation needs to do, how to be a better person, how to serve your community. I want to set an example for my family and my friends. I've owned my own business. We've built houses here. We've gone through the hassle. I was president of the Board of Realtors. I've done a lot of leadership positions like that, but that's not what this is about to me. This is my family out here, and I felt that I owe you the same respect that I give my family.
That's why we call him home.
Okay, this next one will start with Ben. If you had 3 wishes for Wildomar's police force and safety, what would they be?
More boots, more boots, and more boots. We need more boots on the ground. And that's something we're flat for. Yeah, I think at the end of the day, the more officers we have out on the street, the safer we'll be. And without that, our police force is in dire need. And they're a good group. Our sheriff does an excellent job for us. We have an excellent contract. Our sheriff has bent over backwards for us for this struggle that we've had with the state. I've talked with them directly many times in the last month about it. And they do a great job for us with the limited staff right now. I can't wait to see what they can do for us when we're back where we were. And at the end of the day, that's the biggest part of what we're missing right now in our city is a good, strong police force.
Gary?
I agree, we need more boots. We need a lot of boots out here. I was talking to a police officer the other day, and he goes, I went out on a call the other night, and the guy had a gun, and I had no backup. He goes, it's tough. And we need to become fiscally stable. That's with our commercial land and not give it away for other causes. Hyper high density, 40 units per acre. We have residential land that can be used for that. But fiscal stability comes from commercial land. We need to preserve that. And that's what brings the money in for the police and fire. And I agree with Ben, we need more police and we need more fire.
Three wishes. Well, it's going to be, of course, it's going to be the police force, but we're working on that right now really hard with the state. One of the other things that I would wish for is a simpler way to work with the people that are coming here to trying to do stuff. Trying to get these businesses, and when they come and visit with me and talk to me and sit down, and they're telling me what their dream is, what they want to put here, and then I have to tell them the reality of what's going on in the city with the litigants and everything else that's going on. That's going to slow them down, and they really squawk at that. They don't like that kind of thing. So if it would get a little smoother with that, that's one of my wishes, please. And then the last thing is, I wish that the developments that come in, well, this is not going to be a wish, this is going to be a fact as long as I'm on the board, that the developments come in and they're coming in the right way, with the right type of housing, with the right type of lighting, with the right type of atmosphere for our city. I've been here a long time, my kids are all born here, and now my grandbabies all live here. We're not going anywhere. This is our city. This is my family, my friends. And I will come visit you more, by the way. And you're 3 doors down.
Time.
Marcia?
Well, I'm glad you come visit me, number one. My number one wish would also be more boots on the street, but for a little bit different reason. We're basically a pretty safe community, but there are some bad people, and they are here. And I feel really bad that our police officers don't have more backup. I talked to an officer over in Lake Elsinore, and she said she did work here in Wildomar, and she really would like to come back. But they need more time here. They need to have backup. They need to have people on the street. There are some bad people. I don't doubt that. But basically, we are a good community. We need more commercial. We need more community involvement. If you look out in this audience, I know most of you by first name because you're the ones that always come. There's 32,000 residents here. Now, some of those are kids, 10,000 or so homes. But you guys are the ones that show up all the time. We're pretty much the same group.
Time.
And Israel?
Yes, well, I'm gonna agree with every one of the candidates up here. we do need more police enforcement and more boots, of course, because there's bad people everywhere, not just here in the community, but bad people could come from other cities, other places, part of the Los Angeles, San Bernardino, San Diego, and could cause a violent scene here in the community. So that's when we need a lot of the backup from the police force. So of course, it's been a struggle to try to get the police force so they could be financially involved, financially stable, so we could go ahead and have the police force that we need.
Okay, thank you. I've got a question here regarding Walmart, and I think I'll kind of paraphrase it, because if I don't, this one question will take the rest of the night. So let's start with Gary. Gary, what is your position on Walmart coming to Wildomar on a scale of 1 to 10? What are the drawbacks? What are the advantages? And are there any other big box chains you'd like to see come here?
Well, the advantages for Wildomar with Walmart would be taxes, number one. The layout it is in right now, I do not like the way it's laid out. Looked online the other day and they had a Walmart in Colorado that was done beautifully. And I think it needs to be done more to the old town feeling with more of the Tom's Farm effect around it. To make it more of a walking based area there with the restaurants and different stores and stuff to make people want to be there. But it's just a big, ugly looking building there in a parking lot. It's like Fry's down in San Marcos. Everyone ever seen that place? It's ugly. And I just want to make sure that it looks nice and that it's friendly and walkable for people in the community. As far as tax dollars, it's a great.
Okay. But I gotta take issue with Fry's, a pretty cool place. Spend all your money there. Tim?
Walmart, I'm all in support of Walmart coming in. That was what we based our whole incorporation on, is we were counting on that money, from what I understood, and then it didn't come. I remember meeting with them out at the Las Vegas show, and they just told me, we're selling the land, we're not coming here. You guys have too many people that are causing trouble, and we don't want to be bothered with it. That's a sad state of affairs when you hear that from a massive company like that. And now they're here, and now they're coming, and I am for it, because I know it's going to make a difference in the bottom line, which I get to see, because I look at all those budgets and where our money's going. So you can't do anything without money in the city. Walmart's going to be a good thing for us. Is it the greatest store in the world? That's up to anybody that wants to shop there. I'd like to see some other things. We only have a limited amount of space. The awesome thing about Walmart is it's right on the freeway exit. They can come in, shop, and then they can leave. And it doesn't cost me a dime to take care of them. That's what I love about Walmart. And that's basically all there is to that.
I see the tax dollars, and that's nice. That's nice too, it's a great benefit. But I also see the jobs for our community. There's no place really to work in Wildomar. It would be offering many types of jobs. Their starting rate is around $13 an hour. That's not a lot of money, but it's more than being at McDonald's or at Jack in the Box. It's a start. It will give our kids a chance. It will give some of our older adults a chance that maybe can't quite make it on their Social Security, but with a little bit extra they can. I understand how that works. I do want it to look nice, and you can do a lot with landscaping. Our planning department is great. Walmart so far has been very receptive to any ideas we've had. Walkable, I don't see walkable on Bundy Canyon really. I see more the freeway entrance. I see the farm getting a whole new place to shop. Right now, most of the farm goes the other way. They shop in Menifee. But to have the road improved, and they will have to do their improvements.
Time.
Okay, Israel.
Yes, well, I am all for Walmart, I'm supportive of it. Like Marcia said, it's also good for jobs, also to bring revenues to the community, because I'm pretty sure everybody here in Wildomar goes to Walmart. So I'm sure why go to other cities and give your taxes to those other cities when you could do it in your own community, in your own city. And as far as the landscaping goes, I mean, there's always other options and ideas we could come about and have an open suggestion to it. So I'm very supportive for it, and if not, then there's always Target.
And Ben,
Well, Marcia, I completely disagree. It is very walkable in that area. I live over there, and I'm looking forward to walking to Walmart. And I've actually talked to a lot of people in the communities right around there that also want to walk to Walmart. So I think it will be pretty walkable. I talked to members 4 years ago, and they were excited then, and they're excited now that there's even potential for Walmart coming in. And I think it's going to be an excellent growth opportunity for our community. Walmart's going to have to fix quite a bit of infrastructure over there. We're going to hold them to that. They're not getting a free pass. And a lot of community members, a lot of communities in this area used to give Walmart a free pass. They would let them keep their sales tax dollars for the first 20 years. And, that's hurt a lot of communities around us. We're not doing that. We're looking forward to a potential of that income almost on day one. So I think it's a very important thing for our community, and it's going to hopefully start righting the wrong where all our tax dollars in the communities around us. Gary has the exact numbers. I think it's something like $28 per person in our city, or maybe it's 58, and Temecula gets 136, I believe. That's a skewed amount of money. It's not that Temecula spends that much money, it's that we're spending our money there, or in Elsinore.
Time.
okay, this next one, we're going to start with Tim. And I'm going to kind of change the question and kind of elaborate on it a little bit. I think this is really about the city and hiring of contractors. So, is work that is done in the city performed by city employees or contractors? And let me add, what quickly are the rules in terms of hiring a local contractor or individual versus an outside contractor from out of Wildomar?
There are specific requirements for different types of jobs that we fund out or we dole out to contractors. Everyone can come in, when there is a contract up, they have the right to come in to bid on the jobs and everything. Overall, there's a long process involved. They got to know exactly what they're looking at. It can't always be just the lowest bidder on some of the contracts. It has to be reputation, where they've been before, different things like that. On some of the contracts, now we hire contractors to do people that work at our front desk. We've hired quite a few contractors. We have subcontractors in the city because it keeps our liabilities down, our long-term liabilities with CalPERS and everything else. So I'm one of those people that like to hire out and let someone else pay their retirement funds. We try to keep it down to absolutely necessary. When it comes up to where it's going to make more sense for us to pay someone to stay with us.
Time.
Okay,
Marcia?
that's not good.
It is tough.
Finish that, Mom.
I will. We have an absolutely great city manager, and when he sees an opportunity to make someone an employee, he brings it to us, and we discuss it at a city council meeting. He gives us the pros and the cons. Sometimes it makes sense to hire. I think, what are we up to, 16 employees? Counting the five of us, so, that's 11 employees. We do contract out most everything else, but that way we can save you all money. We don't pay their retirement, we don't pay any of their extras, their sick leave, nothing. If we don't need them, they don't have to come in. It's all on a basis of need. When we need a planner there, they're there. But we have, those 11 employees are some of the absolute best. And if you're talking about jobs that are done, those are done by bid, and they do have to turn in a lot of paperwork, and it is a low bidder, to my understanding, as long as all their paperwork is in order and everything is there. And that, again, is to save money.
Thank you. Israel?
Let me see if I could elaborate this. As far as contract work, it's true, like Tim said, why pay their retirement, have another company pay for it. So, contract work, it's all willingly if you want to accept the job and take the job. So, people want to go ahead and, work for a contract. I worked in contracts in my past experience in my field, so I've learned that you do get your salary, that a higher salary, but you don't get benefits out of it like retirement or health benefits. But as far as contract work, that is helpful when because of course we do the board does need help. The city, the board needs help for
Ben?
On our city council, individually, we hire 2 people, Gary Norquist and our city attorney, Tom Jacks. After that, it's up to them to fill those positions the best that they can, the best price. We give them a lot of direction and policy to do that as much as they can with contract workers. They've done a great job. As far as contracts coming into the city, yes, anyone can bid on them. It is an onerous process. It's not easy, and that's partly because there's a lot of state law involved with when we're spending the public dollars and making sure it's been spent right. I've sat on a couple different review boards for other organizations, including RCTC for their IT department, and it wasn't the cheapest bidder. It was the bidder that was going to get the job done the best. I can tell you that the bid from the cheapest bidder made you laugh. So sometimes you really have to delve in and look at all the different contracts, and most of the time it's our city staff that does an excellent job of figuring that out for us and doing the right thing.
Okay, thank you. Gary?
As a contractor, I used a lot of contract employees because as a Main Street contractor, I was paying $57 on the 100 just for workers' comp, and then I had liability on top of it. So it is a way to reduce things. But one thing I am for, and when we were becoming a city, and that was to give people in this community jobs. And I think we really need to look at a way to get people in this community jobs. Very important. As far as bids on jobs, I've known several contractors who have bid, but they don't have the liability, they don't have the things needed for it. I turned one contractor over to it, and he didn't have the liability the city required, so it was a problem. But I think it needs to be brought out to the community a bit more so they understand what is needed for them to be able to bid on the project.
Time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, this next one, we're going to start with Marcia. I assume this is regarding a vote that was taken for council districts. So, do you believe the voters made a mistake when they voted against districts for the city?
They voted against it, the second vote?
That's what it says.
No, I don't believe they made a mistake. We're a very small community. Districts are very important if you're a large city like Los Angeles, and you have a lot of different kinds of people to represent. We're all one small community, one small family, and districts would only make it very difficult to give the support to the entire community. It breaks you apart. It would be 5 little districts that would be wanting money for this or wanting money for that. I think it's much better to work together as one community, one council, and we work for all of you, not one little part of you.
Israel?
Yes, once again, I agree with Marsha on this, because we're all working together for our behalf, to work as a community. I believe that everything that the board does is just basically what the city wants, but as far as hearing out people saying what they like, what they desire to have for their community, business growth, public safety, jobs, revenue, financially, everything that you can put on the plate. We could go ahead and put that out there, present it as a community, put it all together in one, and just basically
Time.
Ben?
Districts create what I like to call sandboxes. And what that does is if you're going to get it for your sandbox, I want it for mine. And if I'm going to have that in your toy, then you're going to have it too. And there's a lot of tough decisions that come to our dais on a regular basis, but we have to make the best decision for our community as a whole and make sure that our money is spent the best for the community as a whole. You know, sometimes it's the one squeaky wheel, but wherever that squeaky wheel is, I want to make sure they get what they need, or if it's something that's truly needed, let's make sure that happens for them. If we had to do that 5 times over for everything that came to our board, it'd be almost impossible to function. We can usually barely get one thing of one area paid for if we want to do something special, do something out of the norm. It would be entirely too difficult. So no, I don't believe that the voters were misled, or the question, I guess, was more of did the voters do the right thing? Yeah, by getting rid of districts, we took away that sandboxing that was going to happen in our city.
Yeah.
I think for the size of our city right now, districts are not right. I think we should stay the way we are because of the population and it's so spread out, and most of the council members kind of live in one area. And it would have to spread out. If Ben lived in his old place, he'd have 10 people in his group. But if the city got in that mega city, yeah, we'd have to have districts. But right now, no.
Tim?
Yeah, I think they made a good decision to get rid of the districts, because in the district system, you're not going to get the representation for everybody. You might have the one guy on the board that can try to get you something in your area. But I take it, since we are a smaller town, that it's better to have at-large, because you represent anybody. I don't care where you live. You can call any of us or email any of us, and we'll try to do whatever we can to get the problem solved. In a district, you're not going to get that. You're going to go to the guy that's in the district and deal with him, and hopefully he can get something done. Well, not here. You can come to all 5 of us, send us all the emails, and go straight to us all the time. We're accessible. I mean, I have never had anybody say, I can never get a hold of you, because it doesn't work. I get emails every day, and I answer them back, or people call me, or whatever. They have that access. Districts, it creates what Ben said, sandboxes. And I don't like to play in other people's sandboxes, and I don't want them in mine either. So I'd rather be in one giant one and we'll play together.
Thanks, Tim. Okay, let's start with Israel. What is your position on the possible improvements on Bundy Canyon Road that were discussed at the September 10th council meeting? If you are against the improvements, please elaborate as to why.
Well, I'm supportive of that improvements. That I live on the farm community, so I have to drive down there no matter what. And I eventually seen a couple accidents. I almost escaped an accident twice going for that road, but I got to see the person overturned the car and spun and turned into one of the hills. I tried to get off and help, but there was so many people by the time I got there when I turned around to help the person, the vehicle, because once one person's involved, everybody wants to be involved, everybody wants to be a hero, so everybody gets in the way. So we just called the cops and police, and they just came and took care of the matter. But I would like to see improvements on that, because it would help safety with if there's new roads that are developed, signs.
Time?
Yeah.
Bundy Canyon is a critical piece of our infrastructure that is in long and needed for repair. 4 years ago at a formal or an event like this up on the farm, I really recall very dramatically when a lady stood up and said, if you don't fix that road, she's going to take the washing machine and put it out there and stop traffic until we do. The farm community has looked for this improvement for a long time, and it's something we need to do for safety. And I fully believe that we're going to do it. It's just a matter of, are we going to be held up for years with a lawsuit that cost us hundreds of thousands of dollars, or are we going to be able to move forward and do this project sooner rather than later? And can we get that money from WRCOG? Yes, I fully believe with the TUMP program we can move forward and do that, but it's a matter of when, and the right time is to do it sooner than later.
Yeah, it definitely needs to be widened. I was on it the other day coming home from Hemet, and it was in the evening, and I was backed up for about 25 minutes to get to the freeway. And it needs to be widened. I think one of the main things we need to look at, though, when it's being done is that we do provide bike lanes, because a lot of people do ride bikes on that road all the time. I was out by the farm the other day, a whole bunch of them, about 15 riding down the road. So I think that's real important for people who ride bikes, that that's open, and that pedestrian passage is okay, like Ben was talking about earlier, that we have a path to travel is very important for people walking.
Okay, thank you. Tim?
Yeah, I'm all for getting Bundy fixed there. I used to live there right at the Christian school, and we had 30 people lining my front yard. And quite a few people died there, and I was at the accident when it happened, so I know what it's like. We fought for years. We had all of our parents from our school went over there and started lobbying the supervisors, and they cleaned up the one road right there in front of the school and stopped them. The whole thing is it's a mess, but it's also done. And now we have an EIR that's ready and finished that we're trying to take on as a city to approve and to back up so we can start the process to get the money from WRCOG when it comes in. It takes development to pay for things. You have to have developments in order to do it. The Sunbelt community up at the top, or I can't remember, is that the name? Anyway, the one in front of the farm, that's a huge project. It's doing a lot of the infrastructure. They're fixing that right there. It's on those people's shoulders to do that. And as we grow in the right way, it's going to fix the whole street.
Last name, Marshall.
I am 100% in favor of the improvements on Bundy Canyon. A street doesn't get straightened and taken care of overnight. This is a process that takes many, many, many years. The process was started many years ago with the county, before we were even a city, that long ago. And a lot of people went into the supervisors and to the meetings and said, yes, we need this road. Well, we're finally getting closer. This probably won't be done until 2016. So reports aren't always the very, very most current. But things haven't changed on Bundy Canyon all that much either. This is a project that needs to go through. We're in a position, one of our council members has worked himself into a position where he will have some say where this money goes. This money could go anywhere. It could go for any road. There's a lot of roads in Riverside County that need improving. And it's time for Bundy Canyon to be improved and to get a letter right before we're going to vote on it from an attorney saying it's outdated information or old information and trying to stop us and make us start all over. No way.
Time.
Okay. This next one, let's start with Dan. What community activities have you been a part of or have you helped organize?
It seems like we've had this question, but I'll go back to the barbecue.
This is
Yeah.
very similar to the question, isn't it?
Yeah. I can go a minute.
Anybody care?
No, we've already answered that one. I can't compete with those guys. They do barbecue better.
You
Yeah.
work full
Do
time.
you think we could have handled the storm cleanup better, and if so, tell us?
I think the storm cleanup from all our community partners, as far as Edison, as far as our fire department, police department, was amazing. The response of the groups that came in did an excellent job. Now, the person to my right would have us all believe that this whole area floods every time it rains, and it does have a lot of flooding issues. The only way to fix those moving forward is with good development. Now, stopping projects just to try and make that one project take care of everything in an area will not do it. And that's something that's happened here over and over again, is basically projects being stopped and people trying to make them take care of everything. It's piece by piece. It's one small piece at a time will fix this area. And I think our response overall was excellent. I think the only thing we could have helped out, maybe to help the high school more, but they had an excellent group here already working. They said, we're good to go. So our staff was out there working hard. We're all out there looking to find problems. I was a good one that called our staff and said, hey, we got a dike broke over by the dairy. How often do you get to say that around this town? So there's lots of things happening, lots of stuff going on, and water coming across the road there was a danger. It shut down the road. And
Time.
Gary?
We do have flooding. I've been out here 24 years and I've seen water up the Palomar Road. I've seen water running behind Roundup, the old Roundup over on Palomar Road. We do have issues. We need to start fixing the issues. We've had the question is Mariana Creek plugged? Yes, it is. I have pictures that will be brought out, and I'll send them to the city, you guys can review them. It's completely plugged. Where the water runs right now is on private property. The creek doesn't work whatsoever. It's building up against the houses over there on Palomar Road that are right next to the creek, and their driveways are starting to crack off, leaning towards the creek. There are issues that need to be resolved.
Can you repeat the question again?
Sure.
I forgot what we were talking about.
Do you think we can handle the storm cleanup better, and if so, tell us?
I thought that's what we were starting on this one.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think we did a really good job. Our guys were out there all over the city. Les was running around in his truck. I was out moving trees with people down the street, over in the Front Street area. It was flooding crazy. I've seen it rain like that before in 1982, that was the last one. Guess what? We live in a desert, and that's what happens in deserts. We get these big rainstorms. So you're not gonna fix every issue in the city, but yeah, we did have a good crew. Our guys were out there all day long, all night long, the next day, the day after, and thank God Lake Elsinore came in and helped on Mission Trail. I couldn't believe Lake Elsinore had their guys working on our side, cleaning up all the dirt, and I'm thinking, what in the world are those guys doing on our side of the street, cleaning up with us? Because we have relationships. We've made those connections. That's what we do on the city council. You make connections with your people around you and get their help. It worked out really well, and we did really well for what we have. We have nothing, but we do anyway.
Marcia?
Well, I think we all know most of Wildomar is a floodplain, always has been, probably always will be. We can do some more control work as the money comes in to do it. When we built our house, we know the front of our property is a floodplain. I think a lot of you saw the picture of my house. It looked terrible. There was no water in the house. There was no water in the garage. There was a press release that came out from the city. Anybody that needed help, all they needed to do was call in. Our city staff, Lake Elsinore, all worked together. I was out of town, but I turned on Channel 7 News and I saw my grandson pull the truck out of the ditch with his Jeep. So everybody responded, everybody cared, the neighbors were helping each other. I don't know of anyone that didn't get the help that they needed when they needed it. We were all kind of excited, it got wet and my roses got watered.
And it cooled down.
Yeah.
Israel?
Yes, so I believe that, yes, Wildomar came together as a community and did a great job, spectacular job. I mean, going back to the districts, if it was up to the districts, we wouldn't have got the help that we got. Also, I helped out the person to my right here. One of the signs was falling down, so I put it back up for him. I was being old. I put one of the signs back up, so I didn't want to be like, okay, no, just let it go. So it was actually the one-off by the farm community. So I think they did a very remarkable job, and I would like to applaud for that. Can I get an applause?
Now, it's kind of a point here. I don't know if you guys want to sleep here tonight, but we've got another almost hour and a half of questions. It take 5 minutes, per. So, what are the rules in terms of when we want to stop this? What time? We're done at 8. We're done at 8. So we got 1 minute.
So give us a
Okay, so
closing
let me ask
statement.
this question. To what extent, this is going to start with Gary.
I think everyone wants to do a quick closing statement, is what I'm hearing from the crowd.
Should we just move to the question statement?
Yes.
Okay.
We didn't define the closing statement.
Let him start down there in that end.
Yeah.
How long is the closing statement?
1 minute.
Okay, just want to make sure. I'm the guy with the button.
You're on.
I love this community. I moved here and my daughter used to ride her horse all the time. Just race across the fields and bareback. And it's really neat to see that. And My goal is to preserve the ranch community. I strongly believe that needs to be done. We have plenty of medium density, high density land, but we need to preserve our commercial land. We had a man by the name of Gary Thompson did our fiscal study when we were just about to become a city, wasn't yet. And he said we had, everything was fine in our community except one land use element, we're short on commercial. And my major concern is the hyper high density that is gobbling up the commercial land. And that's a concern.
Let's go, Dan.
Thank you all for coming tonight, for sitting here and listening to us. I can't imagine what an honor to do that, but no, thank you for coming. I know personally it's a very exciting thing to be able to sit on city council. I really enjoy doing it. I really hope that the community will allow me to do that again for them for the next 4 years. And I strongly believe that we'll be a better community in 4 years and further out than that. But we have to start moving forward. Can we preserve a lot of what we have? Absolutely. Will we preserve it? We will. But we have to start growing our commercial base. We have to start moving forward. We have to stop being involved in these piddly little things that stop us at every turn and every time we try and move forward. I hope our community can start moving forward together.
Well, let's make Wildomar a nice place to visit, a great place to live. So why not develop and succeed in Wildomar? I'm just going to close it with this scripture, Revelations 21, verse 1. Then I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth had passed away, and there was no longer any sea. Verse 4. He will wipe every tear from their eyes. There will be no more death or mourning or crying or pain, for the old order of things has passed away. God bless you for coming here tonight and putting up with all of our questions and answers.
I too would like to thank you all for coming out tonight. I know how precious everyone's time is. All of you have things you could be doing, maybe should be doing, but you're here tonight. You're here to hear what we have to say. I again am asking to be re-elected. I feel I can serve each and every one of you to my best ability. I too like seeing the horses. My daughter that's here tonight, you know, if she saw one in a pasture, she'd be on it, whether it was hers or not. And yes, we had horses, pigs, cows, chickens, whatever. And a lot of people out here still do. There's lots of room to still have our rural areas. But we need the commercial and we need the rooftops to support the commercial. They won't come if they're not going to make money. It doesn't make sense to them. When we incorporated, things were different. Our ideas were different. We thought we had more money coming in. When the governor took 25% of our budget, what a big difference. We all had to cut back and make it work. And I know it can work. I know it can survive.
I do thank you for coming out tonight. It's nice to see people actually show up. We have a good team at the city council right now. We do have a good team. We don't always agree on everything, even though we're pretty like-minded. Most of us are really like-minded in business and the way that things should go on and about the community and everything. And we do have we're very cohesive and we work together well. To change it right now, I think it's a mistake. I think we're on the right path of growing in the right way, bringing in the commercial things, bringing in the housing that we need in certain areas, because it's not all going to be that way. I think we've had a good 4 years. We've had a lot of bumps and bruises with the parks, and we took that gamble, we spent the money, and then we got that thing passed after twice trying, and we had to spend that money. And then here we are again spending money, trying to get our money back from the governor. And if that comes through at the end of this week, it's going to be awesome. So it's only good things after this for Wildomar.
Time.
All right, well, I thank you. It's kind of fun to do this when you're not up there.
Tell us about it.
I read this today and I thought it was so perfect for today's work, what we're doing here. I won't say it's a lie, but it doesn't have to be a lie. A lie can travel halfway around the world with the internet. Well, the truth is just putting on its shoes. So that's why I think that these kind of forums are so important, because we get to learn a lot about people. Hey, let's go home. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.